Okay. So we do have two cards here, all right? This is my Language of Letting Go deck. This is a positive affirmation deck. We have the Focusing on Substance as your first card here, and then Releasing Anger Toward Family Members, okay? So yeah, we have some situations here. We're going to look at focusing on substance first, and we're going to read the affirmation on the back. This will give you some perspective on how to release this and what you need to acknowledge, okay? So it says that today I will focus on the substance in my life. I will fill in the lines of myself with a real person, me. I will concentrate on the substance of my relationships and other areas of my life, not the trappings. Okay, this is very, very, very important, Cancer. When we focus on the substance, we're talking about the substance, the things that really sustain you. Okay, these are the things that we need to be focused on instead of looking at the lack or looking at outside things that make us feel trapped. You guys have been feeling somewhat trapped these last few months, so this makes sense. And really looking at not just the substance within yourself, but the substance of your relationships, okay? In other areas of your life, okay? So really looking at the things that are positive, are going well, things that are allowing you to be sustainable, you have food, you have shelter, whatever you have. Some of you may just have, a stable mind. You might not have peace of mind, but you are in your right mind. So just really searching for the small things that you do have, okay? When we focus on the lack, we produce more lack in our lives. When we look at the negatives, we produce more negative experiences and draw in more negative people, all right? So the next thing is releasing anger toward family members, okay? So it says that today I will accept the potent emotions I may feel towards members of my family, and I'll be grateful for the lessons they're teaching me. I accept the golden light of healing that's shining on us all. All right, so this is a jagged little pill to swallow for some of you. All right, some of you are experiencing some difficulties within your family. You're feeling some resentment, some anger due to lots of different situations for sure, okay? But the thing of it is even in the negative experiences and the feelings that you are having towards these family members, it also gives you some sort of lesson that it's teaching you. I always say that even if there is someone negative around you, they're teaching you some sort of lesson about yourself, how you handle conflict. Are you standing your ground? Do you need to speak up more? Do you need to cut these types of relationships out of your life? Are you dealing with family members that are toxic and also dealing with toxic work environments, toxic relationships? So challenges in your life and challenging people can really teach you a lesson about what you want and what you don't want, what you'll settle for, what you won't settle for, that sort of thing, and what you'll fight for, So the lesson is to look at the lesson, all right? And accept that there is something here to help you in all areas of your life, okay? So if you're struggling with some issues with your family members, really look deep internally and say, why is this happening? What do I need to do in order to create some harmony within my own life, within my own space? Am I not speaking up enough? Well, if I'm not speaking up to my family members, am I not speaking up to my friends and my relationships and my job? So really taking some accountability here and also acknowledging why you're allowing this to continue to happen. And for some of you, are you really angry at the right people, is what Spirit is saying to me. You know, for instance, if you have a parent that constantly dotes on a sibling, and you know, you feel some type of resentment, are you projecting that resentment onto the sibling versus, you know, speaking your truth to your mother or to your father that is putting this sibling on a pedestal? That sort of thing. So there is healing in challenges, okay? So that is what's going on for some of you in your mind space. But let's go ahead and see how deep this mind space is affected and how it affects the body, because this is your feelings, okay? Your mental feelings. But let's just see what these feelings are really saying to yourself and doing to you, okay? So the first thing is that we have, and I'm using I call it my Mona Lisa deck. This is my mind body makeover deck, okay? And this will have like a negative way that you're thinking or feeling, and then there's a positive way, a different perspective on how to turn that energy around so that you can vibrate higher, okay? So what I'm seeing here is that for some of you, oh my goodness, this came out for Taurus as well. There's a feeling of rejection, abandonment, and betrayal in relationships. And relationships could be anything from romantic relationships, friendships, family relationships, work relationships, that sort of thing. But if you look at it from this standpoint, and again, it kind of touched base on what we just looked at here. It says that I now learn from past disappointing relationships so I can release the anger and sadness and move on to more fulfilling ones. All right. This is basically what I was just saying, that sometimes we need to look at what's going on so that we can create new opportunities, new situations for ourselves. All right. So some of you just may have some old hurts, some old disappointments that are resurfacing. Now, this could be for some of you some situations that you've dealt with your family, and now this anger that you have, these old resentments, past hurts, are now seeping into your relationships, okay? So however you saw, you know, your family members respond to each other, however, you know, your upbringing, the things that were said and done to you might have caused some low self-esteem, that sort of thing. And so now there is a fear, okay, of being abandoned, rejected, and betrayed in some sort of way, okay? So this can really, really cause in the body anxiety, oversleeping or not sleeping enough, overeating, maybe even not eating enough, okay? And then again, I've said this over and over in most of these readings so far, your immune system is being affected. For some of you, you know, you're more susceptible to like colds, flu-like symptoms. But yeah, there is some fear here, and you know, you're going to want to pay attention to your body responding, saying, hey, this needs to be addressed. All right. So a lot of times we feel like, oh, I'm catching a cold, or, you know, I'm just feeling under the weather, and not really putting this into perspective that there could be some stress related situations. The way that you're, you know, thinking and feeling could be affecting your body. But here's something else we need to look at. This statement here, if I could only say it in the right way, they would agree with me. All right. So some of you, I get the feeling that you don't feel like your voice is really heard. So again, this is why you might have some resentment and some anger towards family members. Okay. And you don't really feel like you have much substance, self-substance here, okay? and feeling like you could be rejected and abandoned and betrayed because you don't have much substance here, is what some of you are feeling. So you become very small in situations, okay? Because you don't feel like you're heard. You don't feel like people tend to agree with what you have to say. But the way to look at this here is that there are multiple ways to look at any situation. So some of you tend to try to fight to be heard or fight to get your point across, because you feel like your voice has been silenced for so long. So it's almost like you go on straight defense, or you're trying to constantly prove your worth. And get people to really agree with you because you feel like you haven't had that audience or that support that has been agreeing with you or agreeable. And then some of you just don't say anything because you don't feel like you have the right way to articulate to where people could really relate to you or would agree with you, okay? So just dealing with that. So this is your mind, your body here, okay? And with this here, this talks about healthy relationships, okay? So we're talking about, as far as the body goes, we're talking about like sore throats, inflammation of the throat area because you don't feel like you can speak as much. Stomach, a lot of stomach issues because you're holding things down. You're not digesting things as well as you should be. So those are signs to be looking out for, as well as, depression and anxiety and emotional outbursts. Okay. So you might be feeling like you have a lot of emotional outbursts where either you might have some moodiness or you might be emotional to the point where you cry, and it's because you can't find the words to articulate what you're feeling, so your body becomes overwhelmed. So either it lashes out or it shuts down, and some of you display tears because there's a level of frustration where some people might look at this as being weak. And, Cancer, you guys do get a bad rep for being highly emotional, okay? But for some of you, it's just because you can't find that right way to articulate, how you're thinking and feeling is what I'm seeing here. Let's go ahead and put this aside one moment. Let's look at the Goddess deck here, and let's see what they have to say about this. What is their advice here? Oh, you know what? Yeah, we'll do this first, and then we will do Soul, okay? Yep, so you got the Vesta card. This is the home card. Intuitively, I'm reading that some of you would just prefer to be in the home, to be in your safe zone, okay? Because you don't want to deal with some of these things here, okay? Now, I'm just looking at this. Both of these cards are really drawn towards the eye area, okay? I'm feeling like you don't feel like you're really seen, okay? And then a part of me feels like you feel like you see things differently, all right? So it's like you don't feel like you're fully seen, and a lot of you heard, but then there's a way that you see things from a different perspective that people can't see. And there is multiple ways to look at any situation, okay? And I feel like you're saying, I do try to look at things from multiple situations, but I feel like others don't, okay? That's how you feel. Now with the home card here, it says your household situation is improving either through a move or a healthy change in its occupants, okay? So there is going to be some change here, but most importantly, I feel like you do feel more comfortable being at home versus being out, because you don't really want all eyes on you, so to speak, because it does make you feel uncomfortable. All right. Not to say that you don't like recognition. You do like positive recognition, and that's what makes you feel comfortable. But it's when you're scrutinized is when it's very, very difficult. You feel like you're under some type of scope. And yeah, so it's like either you're not really seen or you're scrutinized is what Spirit is saying. Like you guys never feel that healthy medium. All right, so let's look at what your soul has to say. All right, we have the Sacred Union card. Okay, let's take a look. This is my universal love deck. This is what your soul is saying, needing, or signaling to you as to what is to come here. Okay, let's see. Where are you? Here we are. All right. So it says that through a touch, word, or glance, you find your beloved. Our current friendship blossoms and transforms into a physical and spiritual relationship. Through the magnetism of divine love, you merge with one another, and love becomes an all-embracing thought. This is your season of love, a time for romance and happiness. You are a beautiful soul. Look within and you will see it. There is a pearl in your heart. Close your eyes and feel it. Within each other, you discover love's infinite spiritual realm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is what you need here. The image here, the arms are like a tree branch. Okay, so this talks about growth. I feel like, and they're mentioning eyes again and seeing. I feel like, again, you need to see your substance, and this will allow you to really bring forward those that can, help you to see the more beauty in yourself and give you the love and acknowledgement that you need. Okay, it says it distinctly here. It says that you are a beautiful soul. Look within and you will see it. It doesn't matter what other people see. Okay, it's you focusing on your substance. All right, and seeing your beauty within yourself. All right, there is a pearl in your heart. Close your eyes and find it. All right. And there will be other people that will be able to look at this eventually. But right now, the focus should not be on these other people. You know, if they see it, they see it. They don't, they don't. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. But what's more important is that you start to get a better understanding of yourself, a better self-love, okay? And that is what I see for you. Let's take a look at what the healing message is for you guys. Yeah, finding that substance within yourself and not looking for that from others. Okay, people will disappoint us every single time, you know, intentionally, unintentionally, but we have to know our worth. And we have to be grateful for the things that, you know, are going well and we do have. We have to keep our vibrations high, people, in order to bring forward positive things in our life, okay? All right, so very good. You got, wow, we got 3 cards here. Time to cross the threshold, all right? And then we have Child of the Light. And we have Immeasurable Power of the Heart Way. Okay, so we're just going to touch base a little bit on each one. I won't keep you guys too much longer. But this is going to be the ultimate message for healing.